I think the thing about the small budget is lack of resources, and you really have to adjust to the amount of time you've got, the amount of equipment and the amount of people. And for example, I had one gaffer, the guy who looks after the electrics and the lighting, one person to do that job, and one grip, the person who pushes the camera and lifts up the boxes and moves things around and builds things. That being said, you modify the shots and the amount of work that you have to do to fit with the amount of people you've got to do it, and we still managed to do quite long tracking shots. The track built by 2 guys instead of 4. Maybe it took a bit longer, but we'd sort of design it so we were doing something else at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it's filmmaking is always a challenge. There's always it's always a time and motion study in the sense that you're dealing against the clock. Even if you're working on a big picture in America, there's never enough time, whatever the budget is. So you just have to adjust and make it work for what you've got. We had quite a lot of stuff of our children, our boys, on push bikes riding on the road, and safety people making sure traffic wasn't going to run them over and anything like that. But we normally on a bigger budget film you'd have a special tracking vehicle that might have a crane on it, and you'd have a generator on board for a light, and you'd have a video village so you'd watch the video monitor and do all that sort of stuff. Well, here we didn't have anything like that with us, and we had to improvise, and so we scouted around. I asked our brilliant production designer Sam Hobbs, who made such a major contribution to the film, if he'd seen any vans in town that might do, and he'd picked out a couple. And then I actually noticed one quite near the office. It was filled with machine parts and oil and bits and pieces, and we finally tracked down the owner and ended up using that as our tracking vehicle. Cleaned out all the machine parts, put a piece of chipboard on the floor so we weren't sitting in the oil, and rigged our camera there. So that worked quite well. It was a good suspension, petrol-driven quiet motor, and we did a lot of tracking. All our tracking shots with the kids on the bike was done from that. So there we are, grabbing what was available, found in the street, and it ended up looking good. It was fine. The question of going back to my roots and shooting a bit more documentary style, but with feature film equipment and trying to give it a feature film look is true. I mean, and that's one of the great things as a training ground that documentary filmmaking gives you. You can learn to work with available light or minimal lighting equipment, work very quickly and make decisions very quickly. So it was a bit like going back to documentary work, and I've still recently been doing a bit of that, but it is. Yes, it is a great training ground, and it stands you in good stead. But it's taking that knowledge and trying to enlarge on it and give the film a feature film look, and make grand graphic compositions that look considered, not just grabbed, and give the film some kind of tone or look or feel that takes it slightly above a documentary, make it a bit more considered, perhaps.
So you ever been to the city?
Nah, but Mum has.
I reckon the city champ. Best video games in the world, I heard.